You've been through it. No texts, no calls, no late-night check-ins, just silence. And that silence, it's louder than anything they could have said. It feels like an echo, doesn't it? The kind of silence that makes you question everything. What's wrong with me? Am I just forgettable? Did I even matter to them? But here's the reality: they're watching. And the thing is, they won't admit it. No matter how cold they seem, no matter how distant they've grown, they're still there. But why is it that they won't acknowledge it? Why is it that they keep lurking in the background of your life, observing your every move like an ex who refuses to let go, even though they claim to have moved on? It's time to face the truth. They haven't forgotten you. They haven't moved on as easily as they want you to believe. The truth is, you've caught their attention in a way they can't shake off. They're watching you from afar, feeling a mixture of confusion, jealousy, and curiosity. They may be too proud to admit it, but they know exactly what's going on in your life. The moment you stopped reaching out, the moment you became unpredictable, that's when they started paying attention, and that's what drives them mad. You've become the one they can't have, but desperately want. You've become the ghost in their past that haunts their present. But do you know what's even worse? They can't even admit it to themselves. They can't face the reality of their own emotions, so they suppress it, masking it with indifference. But we know better, don't we? Now, I want you to keep watching, because I'm about to reveal the 5 signs that prove they're still watching you. And the crazy part is, they'll never own up to it. Let's break this down, because you need to understand something crucial. You are not the problem here. Their inability to let go, their obsession with watching you, that's their issue. And the more you thrive, the more they feel their grip slipping. I'm going to show you exactly how they're keeping tabs on you. The subtle signs that let you know without a doubt that they're still lurking in the background. These signs will leave you with no questions left about whether or not they're watching. And here's the kicker: they won't admit it. Not to you, not to themselves. They'll never say a word about it. But actions speak louder than words, and we're going to dissect every little thing they do to prove it. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you a question. Are you ready to take control of your life again? To stop playing the waiting game? To stop wondering if they miss you or care? If so, then keep watching. Because when you finally realize that they're watching, and they're just too proud to admit it, you'll feel a shift. It's time to level up. It's time to stop being stuck in that past. We're not waiting for validation anymore. We're not chasing anyone. The power is in your hands, and we're going to take it back. And don't forget, type in the comment section, "I'm not just moving on, I'm evolving," because this is the start of your transformation. Hit that like button, subscribe, and join our membership so we can keep bringing you this game-changing content. Let's build this community and keep pushing forward together. Let's dive into the first sign your avoidant ex is watching you, but would never admit it. Now, let's get to it. Stay focused. Sign number 1. They start mirroring your online behavior, but stay silent about it. You ever notice how your avoidant ex starts appearing? Not in your messages, not in your calls, but in ways that feel almost accidental. You post a gym selfie, and 2 hours later they post one too. You share a story about healing or self-growth, and suddenly they're quoting the same authors. You start dressing different, glowing different, showing peace instead of pain. And now they're subtly doing the same. That's not a coincidence. Avoidants are emotionally guarded. But they're not blind. The moment you stopped chasing, you became a mystery, and the avoidant hates not knowing. So what do? They go into silent observer mode. They won't message you, but they'll watch your story within minutes. They won't engage, but they'll match your energy. They'll copy your habits and aesthetics, hoping to somehow stay aligned with your vibe, without the vulnerability of reaching out. Why? Because mirroring is one of the most unconscious yet revealing signs of fixation. Psychology tells us this. When someone is emotionally affected by another person, whether in love, admiration, or regret, they begin to mirror them. It's a social reflex rooted in evolution. It makes us feel connected, but with an avoidant ex, mirroring becomes their safe version of connection. Distant, secret, unspoken. They want to feel close to you again, but on their terms, without risk, without rejection, without admitting they're still invested. But here's the twist. They're doing this while pretending they're completely over you. They act like they're unbothered, all while reconstructing themselves based on your glow-up. That's not indifference. That's obsession in disguise. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." But avoidance? They'd rather fake detachment than risk being seen as vulnerable. So instead, they mirror in silence. You want to know if they're still watching. Watch what they start posting after you do. Watch how they change their tone, their content, their energy after you rise. Because the truth is, they're following your lead. They just don't have the courage to admit it. Sign number 2. They accidentally show up where you are, but say nothing. Ever had that moment where you walk into a place you've never seen them at before, and bam, there they are? Maybe it's the cafe you just started going to. Maybe it's a mutual friend's party you weren't even sure you'd attend. Or maybe it's online. A random like from their friend's burner account the same day you posted something powerful, and they don't say a word. No hello, no comment, no DM. Just presence. But presence isn't passive, it's calculated. Avoidant exes are masters of silent proximity. They don't want you to know they miss you, but they need to feel close to you. They crave control, and when you pull away, that control slips. So what do? They place themselves in your orbit, hoping to get a glimpse of you, hoping you will break the silence for them. They'll tell themselves it's a coincidence. They'll convince others they just happened to be there. But their actions say otherwise. When people truly want to avoid someone, they don't go where that person is. It's that simple. So if they're repeatedly showing up in your social space, especially when they're not obligated to, they're watching you. Not only that, but it's a form of emotional bait. They're hoping you'll reach out first, that you'll say, "Hey, funny seeing you here," so they can act surprised or even distant. But don't fall for it. Because here's what's really happening. They're trying to soothe their ego without confronting their emotions. They miss your energy. They miss how you made them feel. But their pride won't allow them to say it. So they try to be around you instead. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The avoidant, however, wastes time circling back without clarity. They argue with themselves silently. They want connection, but fear vulnerability. So instead of facing you with honesty, they try to absorb your presence like a thief in the night. So the next time you bump into them, ask yourself this: why are they suddenly orbiting your universe again? Because trust me, they're not lost. They're lurking. Sign them at a 3, their friends and followers. Suddenly start watching you. 2 at first, it feels random. You post a story and suddenly a friend of your ex you never spoke to is watching it. A cousin of theirs likes your old photo out of nowhere. One of their followers, who you've never met, starts reacting to your content. It's not paranoia. It's not coincidence. It's surveillance by proxy. Avoidant exes don't always have the courage to keep tabs on you directly, especially if you've gone no contact or made it clear you're not chasing anymore. So what do? They outsource the job, friends, fake accounts, family members. They become the new set of eyes. They'll keep up with your posts, your stories, your status, and report back. Think of it like emotional reconnaissance. Quiet, indirect, but very intentional. Because here's the truth most people don't want to admit. When someone truly wants to move on, they don't need updates. They don't care what you're doing, where you are, or who you're with. But when they're not over you, when they're silently battling regret, they need information. They need reassurance that they're not being forgotten, that you haven't outgrown them, that maybe, just maybe, they still matter. So when you see those unfamiliar names popping up in your views, don't ignore it. That's not random. That's your avoidant ex pulling strings without exposing their hand. And if you're bold enough to test this theory, try going silent for a few days. Watch how suddenly someone close to them pops up, likes something from weeks ago, or accidentally views your story within seconds. That's a ripple. They're checking if you're still emotionally accessible. Stoic wisdom says, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. And avoidants live in that space. They imagine what you're thinking, who you're seeing, and if they've been replaced. But they can't ask, so they peek. Through others, through silence. So if their circle starts showing up in your digital world, don't be surprised. It's not just curiosity, it's confirmation. They're watching, they're wondering, and they're way more emotionally entangled than they'll ever admit. Sign them before, they randomly post things that feel like they're meant for you. Ever been scrolling through their stories or posts and suddenly you freeze? A quote that mirrors your pain. A song you both used to love. A meme that perfectly describes the tension between you two. They didn't tag you. They didn't DM it. But deep down, you felt it. That post was a message, and it was meant for you. Avoidant exes are notorious for hiding behind indirect communication. Why? Because posting is safer than confessing. Public, but vague. Passive yet pointed. They get to release the emotion without the vulnerability. So instead of texting you, they post a breakup quote. Instead of calling, they share lyrics about missing someone but being too proud to say it. Instead of apologizing, they repost something that screams, "I'm not over it either." This is emotional breadcrumbing. They want to stay relevant in your mind without risking rejection. They hope you'll see it and reach out. They hope you'll wonder, is this about me? Because that gives them back a little bit of the control they lost when you stopped chasing. But here's where it gets powerful. You don't need to react. Because when someone tries to speak to you through subtweets and symbolism instead of courage and clarity, they're revealing more about their emotional immaturity than they realize. And yet, their ego won't let them say it out loud. They'll pretend it's just a quote, just a song, just a vibe. But deep down, you both know. It was loaded. As Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And your avoidant X. They're being directed by suppressed emotion. They feel the pull toward you, but they refuse to face the part of themselves that wants reconciliation. So they post, they hint, they hope. And if you ever need confirmation, watch what happens when you post something empowering. Suddenly, their feed lights up with accidental similarities. Because deep down, they're still trying to communicate. They're still hoping you'll decode the message. But you're not playing that game anymore. You're not reacting. You're rising. You're not decoding crumbs. You're demanding full truth. Secret mantra for this point. I don't chase closure. I create peace. Drop that in the comments if you're done with half-truths, passive posts, and emotional breadcrumbs. Let them speak their truth. Or watch from a distance while you become unforgettable. Sign number 5. They suddenly glow up, but it feels forced and hollow. You ever scroll past their new pics and think, that's not even them. New gym selfies, new wardrobe, a vacation they never would have taken before. Suddenly, they're out more, smiling harder, posting like they're thriving. But something feels off, forced, as if they're performing, because they are. This is the avoidant X's version of a reactive glow-up, not driven by healing, but by insecurity. It's not evolution, it's retaliation. It's not about growth, it's about grabbing your attention. When you pull back, when you go silent, when you stop needing them, that's when their ego takes a hit. So instead of dealing with that wound head-on, they try to win the breakup. They want to prove to themselves and to the world that they're doing better without you. But if they truly were, they wouldn't need to prove anything at all. Think about it. The gym pics? They come right after you start glowing. The quote about leveling up? Right after you post something about healing. The night out with friends? The fake laughter? The camera-ready smiles? All of it, timed, targeted, transparent. It's a silent competition you never signed up for. And here's the truth they won't tell you. Their glow-up isn't about happiness. It's about reaction. They want you to doubt. They want you to wonder. They want you to feel like you're the one who lost. But real growth doesn't scream. Real peace doesn't post every moment. And real confidence doesn't crave validation from an audience. Stoic philosopher Zeno once said, "Man conquers the world by conquering himself." But avoidant X's don't conquer. They cover. They bury the guilt, the fear, the loss beneath filters and flexes, because facing the truth would mean admitting they still care. So when you see that sudden surge in activity, pause. Ask yourself, is this them healing, or is this them hurting in high definition? Because real confidence whispers, but ego yells. And right now they're screaming. They're watching you from behind their curated glow-up, hoping you'll look back. But you won't, because you've stopped performing. You're becoming, and that's the glow-up they'll never be able to match. So now you know. They're watching you. They've been watching you, but they'll never admit it. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much, and that terrifies them. Avoidants don't express. They observe. They won't reach out, but they'll track your every move. They won't tell you they miss you, but they'll post 1,000 times just to feel seen. They won't say, "I messed up," but their silence screams it louder than words ever could. And now that the illusion is shattered, the question isn't, are they watching? It's, Why are you still looking back? Because the moment you stop needing their validation is the moment you become the version of yourself they'll never be able to reach again. They fumbled you. They know it. They just won't admit it. But we're just getting started. Next up, they pretend they're fine. But your avoidant ex is falling apart. We're diving deep into the hidden breakdown behind their perfect persona. You'll learn exactly what's unraveling behind their poker face, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and why their mask of indifference is starting to crack. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one, because while they're acting unbothered on the surface, beneath it, they're spiraling. So, hit that subscribe button. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And if this video hit you where it hurts, but also where it heals, smash that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear the truth, raw and unfiltered. And now, drop this mantra in the comments so I know you're walking forward, not looking back. Let them watch. I'm rising. Let's keep building. Let's keep healing. And I'll see you in the next video, because their mask is slipping, and it's about to get ugly.